Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first of what is going to be an extensive series of artist chats with some of the various musicians featured for this year's virtual J by J and the Washington Jewish Music Festival. My name is Seth Kibel. I'm one of the musicians on the festival, but it's also my privilege to interview and chat with all these other talented artists. Now, before we meet our guests this afternoon, I want to go over some basic items of why we're here and how this is going to work. And don't worry, if you miss some of this, I will do this at the end of this interview as well. Okay, first of all, we are in a Zoom webinar format, which means I can't see you and I can't hear you. Nonetheless, you are fully encouraged to avail yourself of the Zoom webinar Q&A feature. Now, it varies from device to device, but basically, if you scroll your cursor, your mouse, your finger, whatever, to the top or bottom of your screen, a little menu bar will pop up. And in that menu bar, there is a button that says Q&A. That stands for question and answer. You click that button, the Q&A box will pop open. You can type any question you have for our esteemed guest during this presentation. And we might not see your question in real time right as you type it, but I promise you, at several points during this program, we will check that Q&A box and do our best to address all questions, comments, concerns, queries, and conundrums contained therewithin. Okay, the next thing I want to say for anyone who is watching, you probably know this, but just in case, we are here because of J by J, the Washington Jewish Music Film and Music Festival that is going on virtually starting today through next week. Actually started yesterday. Hey, who's that guy? Going through next week. And if you haven't done so already, check out some of the amazing offerings that are taking place as part of this virtual festival. Now, the best thing you can do, and the thing that you should do at 4 o'clock immediately after this program ends, is go to this website, jbyjdc.org, go up here to festival, tickets and passes, and get one of these all access passes for $90. For $90, you can access the entirety of the festival, all the movies, all the music, available to watch anytime through the end of the festival next Thursday. That is more movies and more music than you could possibly consume in that amount of time, but I guarantee you it is totally worth it every penny. Now, that's the way you should do this. Having said that, if you want to take more of an a la carte approach, you can go to the music section, and here are all the different acts, and down here below is our guest for today, Vladimir Fridman. So ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to introduce you to Vladimir Fridman. Vladimir, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Seth. It's a pleasure to be here and participate in the festival. And it's such a happy event for me, this festival. For the first time, I played the whole program in J&J solo, even though before we played with you and we played with our crime partner, Bob Abbott, in our Music Pilgrim trio. But to prepare a solo program, it was very interesting for me, and I could use some other approaches.
You know, I gotta say, just up front to anyone who might be watching, a little disclaimer. I don't have much journalistic integrity when it comes to interviewing Vladimir, because Vladimir has been a close musical collaborator of mine for about 20 years now, and I also count him as one of my closest friends. So I think the world of this guy. So my journalistic objectivity is thrown out the window. Now, I'd like to talk a little bit about your set, Vladimir, because it's not just you singing and playing a random collection of songs. You actually came up with a theme. Your program for J by J actually tells a bit of a story. Could you explain that?
That's right. I perform in different situations, and to make every concert, not now, of course, before the pandemic. Uh, I when I perform solo, I always trying to make some theme because it makes you much more involved. You really during the concert not just play random pieces which make one concert very similar to another, remind another concert, but I try to put them in some kind of story. For example, it can be, let's say, story of guitar. Then I tell in guitar story from 1,000 years old, where first Indians with sitar because they were fleeing from famine, and they came to territory which now is France and Spain, and they brought their ancient instruments to Spain. And they say it's many different versions, but one of them that they say that from those old Indian instrument, modern guitar appeared. Kind of first lute. It was first oud, and then it was guitar, and then we're going through European music, and then we're going to jazz, coming to America and stuff. So you're telling the story, and the same idea was for this program. I was trying to tell the story of human life from childhood, from even from early moments when his parents met. So first love of the parents, not the person yet, and then through the life, through his school years, then he falls in love. It's almost unavoidable. Who doesn't know? And then whatever happens, his life children, his own children appear, and troubles in life, and then war maybe happened, and then life goes on, something like that. So it was the story of Jewish life through songs and music. And not
I
only
gotta
Jewish.
say, Vladimir, when you introduced the program, I was watching your set, and when you introduced it, I actually got a little verklempt right at the beginning because you called this program Dance Boychik. And Boychik was what my grandfather, who I was very close to, used to always call me. So the minute I heard you say that, I got a little emotional.
Yeah, thank you so much. For me, it's the same. For me, this word Boychik, it's such a tender and loving words which grandparents can tell to their grandkid. Yeah, as you say, emotional. The word emotional. That's why I tried to insert in some portions of this program. It was mostly Jewish melodies, but when I was talking about love, a portion of love in this program, I couldn't resist to play couple tangos because tango, it is music of love. Actually, they say in Argentina that it's not music of love. They say in Argentina tango is music of love and death, but death part I just didn't use. I used only love part in this program. So I played tango besides Jewish songs about love.
Now, one thing that's noticeable to anyone who watches your J by J set is that you've got a multiple skill sets as a musician. I mean, you're obviously a gifted virtuosic guitarist, and maybe we'll give people a little taste of that in a bit. But you're also a great composer. There are some original compositions of yours mixed in with traditional repertoire. And then you're a fantastic vocalist, and you sing in the J by J program. You sing songs in three different languages, if I was keeping count correctly: Yiddish, English, and Russian. So, my first question for you is Vladimir, when did you learn to speak Russian?
I remember exactly the first word I learned when I just appeared. When I just appeared, my mom said "Oi." That I remember.
Now, is it hard to sing in different languages?
Um, since in Russian it's not very difficult to sing for me, you understand. Uh, since I came to America when I was 40, so previous 40 years, most of the time I was speaking Russian. But another language I kind of got acquainted with before I came to America, it was English, because I played before in group, and we were touring in different countries, and I needed to learn. I spoke little in English, not much, just as much as needed to communicate with people in the theater or something, because we performed in different places. And when I came here, I fall in love with Jewish music, and I start learning songs in Yiddish. I never spoke Yiddish in Russia, even though sometimes my grandparents they never even spoke between them in Yiddish, but they sometimes was telling jokes in Yiddish or something, funkunin sumunin, something like this. Okay, then something else. So toches, I remember this word very well. Sometimes my grandma was saying this word. So just some words. But I came here, I started learning Yiddish songs. Kind of I started feeling much more interest to Yiddish, and I tried to first find transcriptions on internet. But then I met on the concert I played. A lady came to me and she said that her English, her Yiddish is natural language for her. She didn't speak any other language before she was, I think, 12 years old. She lived in Ukraine, in little shtetl, uh, where it was Jewish kolkhoz. I don't know if you know what kolkhoz is. It's farm. It's the same like in Israel, the kibbutz. So in Russia it was kolkhoz, but it was only Jewish kolkhoz. And in this kolkhoz, they didn't speak any other languages. After revolution, they formed this agricultural community, and they were all Jewish farmers there, and they were very, very productive and everything. But she didn't speak any other language before she was 12 years old. But when she was 12, Stalin came, and what happened? This Jewish kolkhoz was very productive, and everything was which was very productive and start becoming rich. Stalin didn't like it. He was everybody be equal, kind of. So they came and they robbed those people and put them to prison because they were not. It wasn't prison. They sent them to Siberia, and children were very often without parents. So her parents told her, run because we will die in Siberia, and go to Kharkiv. It was the Russian Ukrainian town, not far, like 30 or 50 kilometers from this kolkhoz. And it was there, I think her uncle with family lived there. So she came to her uncle and never saw her parents again because
Wow.
her parents went to Siberia, and she went there. I think she was to fourth grade, she said, or something. Uh, and she started studying there at school. She was didn't understand anything in Russian at first, but then she started understanding Russian very quickly. She was very smart lady. She already unfortunately passed away, but she was 90 something. It was a few years ago. She already passed away. So she learned Russian, and then she went to Moscow to a university, and she became a dean of a huge institute. Uh, she was a translator from French. That was her profession. She was French professor finally. So amazing lady, very smart. I met her. She was about 89 probably, and she died.
Wow.
She was 93 or something. She was so smart, like Hakume, her husband told. You know what Hakume means, right?
Yeah, that's such a great story. I don't even remember what question I asked you.
I'm sorry, you asked me about language where I did. So she taught me Yiddish. She explained to me uh, every word in the Yiddish songs I was singing. She explained it to me, and then I still wasn't able to speak Yiddish. But when I was singing Yiddish songs, I understood every word. It was for me like singing in Russian. I really felt
Wow.
every word.
Well, look, it's up to you, Vladimir, but you want to give people just a little taste of the kind of music they'll get from you in your J by J performance?
Okay, you want me to sing or to play something?
Why
What
do
do
you why do you play something?
Okay.
And then I want to get some more of your life story. I got some questions for you about your life story.
Am I talking too much?
No, no, not at all.
I will play probably a piece which I think I didn't play in the program. I hope I didn't. You definitely recognize that one. I played
Ladies,
it. I played it because I think I didn't play it in the program because in program it would be too popular. I would say.
there you go. Now that was a great arrangement. Ladies and gentlemen, Vladimir Fridman.
Thank you.
All right. So look, let's get some more of your life story and your background. Now this intrigues me. My understanding is that you actually went to college and got a degree in civil engineering in Moscow.
That's
Is that
true.
correct, sir?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So what happened? What happened? How come you're a musician now?
You know, it's also could be different easily. The thing is that when I was young, I always had good ear, and from 2 years old, as my parents telling me, I don't remember that, but they saying when guests came to our house, they put me on the chair and I was singing something, and my father, who was pretty good amateur pianist, but pretty good, he said that I played everything from childhood very precisely, was singing, I mean. But when I grow a little bit, it was, Jewish boy in Soviet Union, and my father said, I don't want to teach him music, even though my mom said, no, we need to teach him, he has good ear. But my father said, boy in Russia better be, as Jewish boy in Russia should be better mathematician or physician, I mean something like this, or lawyer maybe, but to be a musician, it's very dependable profession. I mean, so
Wasn't that different? Wasn't that different in New York in my childhood either? But go ahead. That
so
sounds very familiar to me.
I believe you. So, and unfortunately, I never was taught play music. But when I was and my father was always supporting my sport, inclinations. I was skate runner. Then I went really seriously to cross country ski. I was competing in cross country skis and competitions and everything. And one I was so dedicated with friend of mine. We were both of us really crazy about cross country, and we kind of preparing for Olympic Games. We were not even close, but we were decided that we're gonna be in Olympic games, and we prepared like crazy. We was running with him, and finally we got two best cross country skiers in our school. So when our school was sending somebody to compete, both of us. Okay. Anyway, so I was practicing all ways which can help me, and I was walking on my hands in corridor between, in long corridor, and in winter to prepare. I don't know how, but I hands should be also strong. So I was walking on my hands,
Can you
and
demonstrate, please?
no problem. You can see. So and I fall and hit my knee. So I hit my knee. So no Olympic Games for me, at least in closest months. So and I said, since I'm home, I had a cast. So since I'm home, I decided I will. Now I have time to start another dream of mine, to start playing guitar. And when I start playing guitar, all my Olympic Games were over because I didn't
Wait,
do
how
any.
old were you?
I was in ninth grade. I was 16,
So
15.
you didn't start playing guitar until you were 16 years old?
No, no,
That's remarkable.
no. Unfortunately, I know that's why I still not very good sight reader, I would say. But
Oh, you're fantastic. You're a virtuoso.
saying it, but I would love to start earlier, of course. But that's what happened. But when I started playing guitar, I couldn't put it down. I was playing, and playing, and it was in ninth grade. So, and we had 10 classes in Russia. So not 11, not 12. So when I was graduating from school, it was 1 year and a half. So when I was playing guitar, so in year and a half, I prepared to go to the music college as a guitarist because I didn't want to do anything else. So, and I want to play pre-exams. I was uh, how it's called, auditions. Yes, it was a kind of audition, and I came to. They have with Moscow Conservatory. They have one step lower, kind of under conservatory. They have kind of music college. So you
Hmm.
first should go to this music college, and then you go to conservatory. So I went to this music college for audition, and teacher there, who was teaching also in conservatory, she told me, "Oh, you're good. You will go. What about your solfege?" And I said, "What is solfege?" And
Now, just explain what solfege is for anyone who's listening who might not already know.
when you go into professional music education, you need to be able to sing, uh, just looking at the music and sing from music. It's one of the thing which is in solfege. And you need by ear, music theory kind of also includes in solfege. You need by ear recognize what chords is played on piano, something like this. I never did anything like that. So, and it was like about 2 or 3 weeks before exam, and she said, "Man, no good. You cannot go because just as guitarist you can pass, but no solfege, no way, no theory." And I came home and said, "I cannot go there." And my dad said, "Man, you need to go to engineering college because otherwise I would be drafted the same. If you're not going to college in Russia, you drafted immediately."
Right, right.
So, and he said, "Do you want to be drafted?" I said, "Okay." And I went to college, engineering college. So, but when I was in engineering college, I was playing guitar. It was pretty pretty difficult schedule for me. I was waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day and played till 8, 3 hours, and then went to whatever when I need to go. So not right away, but part of my years was like this. So so I was studying engineering, hydroelectric stations, and my profession was, and I liked it. But it was very easy for me to study in college because I was before for in good school with very big attention to physics and mathematics. So for me, well, was pretty easy in college, and I was able to spend a lot of time for guitar. So I started performing, and I performed a lot during students. I was composing my own songs, and I had a lot of concerts, like 2, 3 concerts a week. I played, and
What kind of music were you playing then?
it was Russian. How it's the same analogy, like who is uh, like songs which somebody composed the song and played accompany himself on guitar. How you
Like
call it?
singer-songwriter, kind of folk
Singer-songwriter,
music? Yeah,
exactly.
singer-songwriter. Okay.
Singer-songwriter. And it was extremely popular that time in Russia because it was pretty much suppressed. Official radio and television, like Bob Dylan style, I would
Yeah,
say,
okay, yeah.
something like that. Yeah, but it was mixed of Bob Dylan and Charles Aznavour, let's say, kind of, because I loved very much French chanson, you know, Lemarque, Brassens, all those guys. Okay, so that's what I did. I composed songs, and I had classical guitar teacher, so I played classical pieces, got some technique, but I didn't perform as classical musician. I performed like those singer songwriter. That's what happened to me, and then
And did you go from that to jazz balalaika? Is
then
that the next step, or am I leaving something out?
you know, since education in Russia was free, we didn't need to pay for anything. It's government. You got to college, you don't pay anything. So
Mhm.
because of that, you need to pay government back some money, and you're paying. We paying with mandatory 3 years of work for government. After you graduated,
Right.
you must work 3 years according to your profession, and this way, kind of, they think that young knowing nothing person can bring back some money. I doubt it, but anyways, but anyway, I needed to work 3 years day by day, and I went. So I worked as an engineer, but working as an engineer, especially that 3 years, I really that time for sure I was waking up at 5, play till 8, 3 hours in the morning, and then whatever time I had after work. So I played guitar all in all, and during those 3 years, last year probably of my working as an engineer, we formed quintet, guitar quintet. It was quartet at first, quartet, 4 classical guitars, and it's appeared just our luck. Then 2 Russian theaters. It was unusual for classical guitars, you know. So two theaters got us uh, to work there. So it wasn't all the time permanent job, but we worked on their shows inside. It wasn't much money, no, but at least it was big famous Russian theaters. So we young guys were very happy that and when I needed to go already, when my 3 years almost was over, we got paid job. Somebody hired us to play in one of the parks in Moscow. You know that like Six Flags, kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
this way.
Amusement park.
Yeah, amusement park. So we were playing their music for people. People came and we were on stage and play for them. So it was permanently paying job.
Oh,
It was
love it.
amazing. Yeah, that.
Excellent. And all right. So did you end up in jazz balalaika?
And then after some time, I worked there in that park, and then I worked to our job there was over, and I went to Moscow Philharmonic to accompany singers. So I was traveling with different singers, accompany songs them. And after that, I got to jazz balalaika.
Okay, good. I wanted to get to Jazz Balalaika. Now, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about this group and what you guys did. And then you mentioned to me earlier that you had some vintage video of
Yeah.
Jazz Balalaika. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about this group and what it was and how it kind of really built a music career for you. And then show us one of these classic Jazz Balalaika video clips.
Um, one day when I was working to get some permanent money um, in music school, teach as a teacher, and at night I played in restaurants and did what I could, between tours in because it wasn't enough money. My company in Philharmonic to singers, it wasn't enough, so I played, was teaching music and playing in restaurant. And one night I got a call, guy calling me saying, we just like a group, and our guitar player is gonna leave us. And we heard that you play in different styles, so let's meet. So we met with those guys, and it's appeared that they liked me, and I definitely liked them because they were doing circus numbers. They were dancing, singing, playing. But the most difficult thing appeared that they simultaneously were dancing and playing simultaneously. It was crazy difficult. And they said that they have only 1 month before they going to tour to Germany. And I never been abroad, and they said, man, we have only 1 week, 1 month, and we have in our program 10 different numbers in 1 month. Yeah, it was crazy. So I got 2 tutors. One guy came to me every morning and he taught me how to play those pieces. He played me and taught because it was pretty difficult repertoire. And then another guy came and he taught me how to dance. And I was playing the music which I learned in the morning, and he was teaching me to dance. We had in our flat in Moscow the carpet. So at the end of the month, my wife said, "Look, what happened to our carpet?" And we had on this carpet, we had, passes according to different numbers. So I played tango, one of the things. Yeah. I played tango and dance simultaneously. And when you play tango, you kind of pulling, you dragging your leg.
Yeah.
So I did it so many times that on the place where I drag leg, it was bald carpet.
You didn't have downstairs neighbors, did you?
We had, but luckily nothing bad happened.
But yeah, you've shown me some Jazz Balalaika videos, and the group definitely has a kind of a vaudevillian quality, as we would call it in this country, where it's not just about the music, it's about the entire show. Now, the group consisted of, was it 4 or 5 balalaika players?
Group consisted of accordion.
Oh, right, accordion.
Flute. Guitar. And small balalaika and big balalaika.
And yeah.
5 people. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, it's because of time. It doesn't want to show it again. Okay, I will open that again. So you want me to show something?
Yeah, show us a clip of Jazz Balalaika.
Let me try.
I think people will get a kick out of this.
For a while, can I? Oh, this is good. Which we started. This one is combination of many different numbers. It's kind of introduction clip. So, how can I share?
You should be able to.
Sorry for quality. It was bad quality.
No worries. What year are we watching? What year is this?
Probably 94.
1994. Okay.
Something like this. Yes. 1994.
schon ist gebrannt.
Ui.
Nicht schon, again at its best. It means that my heart is your command. I could say bella, bella, it's a good ever, but when it surely helps me, till you go and run, I try to explain. But it is schon, so kiss me and say you understand.
That's it.
That was fantastic, Vladimir. And I was not, I knew about many of your skill sets, but I was not aware that you were a kazoo virtuoso as well. That was truly fantabulous. Now, look, I got to ask, and all joking aside, I mean, that was a medley of Jewish songs. I know that wasn't all that Jazz Balalaika did, but was that something that was problematic or difficult? I mean, I know things were, touch and go, my understanding was, for Jews in the Soviet Union during this time. How did that work?
It was a time very hectic. It's such a calamity. It was time when after Gorbachev, when
Okay.
everything was allowed in Russia at that moment.
Right. I guess the Soviet Union collapsed in what?
Yeah,
89?
it was such a mess.
Okay.
So, and by the way, this Jewish song, this number on Jewish subject, it was only one number in Jewish direction. We did all other. We did tangos, we did rumbas, whatever. Different.
All right. Well, look, we got time for a little more stuff. I'm asking this question of all the musicians I'm talking to, and I know some musicians are a little tired of talking about this, but I think it's important, and I think history will want us to document it. How has the pandemic and the events of this past year affected you personally as a musician, and what have you been doing over the past year?
Of course, amount of concert. This I cannot say that it dramatically dropped. It's just dropped a lot, totally dropped dead, I would say. But I have a lot of students, and even got some new students during pandemic. People,
And you're teaching virtually, I assume.
I'm teaching yeah, on Zoom or whatever other platform it is, and for me it's not very big difference because I start teaching online almost immediately when Skype was stable, and I had students before uh, in I start from students in New York, then I had students in California, in Russia, and in Belgium. So kind of strange every time. It's just was this particular case. It wasn't just order,
So,
but
unlike most of us, you were already teaching virtually to some extent before the pandemic.
yeah, yeah, I did. So it wasn't difficult for me, especially you know since I didn't start playing guitar young. It was 16 years old. It's already many people by then already very famous musicians like you, for example. So uh, because of that, I had a lot of troubles teaching myself. I had teachers, of course, but when you adult kind of and studying as adult, you thinking more than when you kid. And I had all types of troubles. Left hand was overplayed, right hand was overplayed because I practiced a lot. And now I did it on myself. And then now when I see student on, I cannot explain how, but I feel with my guts that his right shoulder is tensed, and I can tell it. So, and they always surprised, especially adults. I'm saying your right shoulder is tense. How do you know? I don't know how I know. So for me, teach online, it's not big deal. Or I feel how they, or if they tensed or something.
That's great. That's great. And you've also, my understanding is you've been doing some collaborative musical videos during the quarantine. Is that
Oh,
correct?
yeah, that's totally correct. And you probably know about it more than anybody else
So
because
my
we,
understanding, I found one that I thought we'd share with people, and it's I figured I'd pick one that was Jewish themed, and it's a video of you singing the Yiddish theater song, the classic Yiddish theater song, Ich hab dich zu viel lieb, or I love you much too much. Now, a couple of things about this video. First of all, how was this recorded? You and the other musicians weren't in the same room, were you?
yes, we wanna. So we recorded first track, scratch track, as our bass player Bob call it, calls it, scratch track, some rhythmical uh, part where bass probably is there already, and guitar part. And then other instruments, soloing instruments, can record over that. So each musician in earphones can listen to scratch track and record his own part, and then send his part with video to our bass player Bob or to me. And Bob or me, we put together those videos. Like you divide screen on few parts, and you can see each musician if in his own window. That's how we did it.
Now, this is a great Yiddish theater song, and then the Barry sisters recorded it. I'm just curious. This one you chose to sing in English.
Mhm.
What was the reason for that?
I can easily explain this thing. The thing is that this song was my wife's favorite song in Russia, in Russian. It was
Hmm.
one of our favorite Yiddish singers, um, and we had the CD, and she was singing Yiddish songs in Russian, and my wife loved it and very much. So when I started singing the song, I tried to sing it in Yiddish, and she said, "Could you do it for me? So I would like to understand words." So I decided to sing it in English because she loves it and she wanted to understand it. That's why.
Natasha is always right. She's always right. Well,
Yeah.
look, I'm going to show this to folks so you can see this. This is Vladimir and his group, the Music Pilgrim Trio. A couple of quick things before I do. First of all, once again, we have a few more minutes. If you have any questions for Vladimir, you can avail yourself of the Zoom webinar Q&A feature. Again, it may vary depending what device you're on, but if you scroll your finger, your mouse, whatever, to the top or bottom of your screen, that menu bar pops up, and in that menu bar is a button that says Q&A. You click on that, the little Q&A box pops up on your screen, and you can type a question for Vladimir, and I will gladly ask him questions on your behalf. All right, so let me get this video queued up. I was watching it earlier. The only thing I do have to say, Vladimir, is you really got to do something about your clarinetist in this video. He really seems, I'd say, a little subpar. He might be drunk. I'm not sure.
He reminds you a little bit.
Yeah, okay. All right, anyway, this is you with your group. I love you much too much.
I love you much too much. I've known it from the start. But yet my love is such, I can't control my heart. I love you much too much, and ask myself what for. But darling, when we touch, I love you more. Perhaps I hold your heart too tightly, but who am I to say? If I should hold it lightly, it might slip away. I love you much too much. I've known it from the start. But yet my love is such, I can't control my heart. Much too much. I've known it from the start, but yet my love is such, I can't control my heart.
Oh, that was fantastic, Vladimir.
Thank you, Seth. You did a great job there, too.
All right. Well, look, we've got just a couple of minutes left. I'm going to ask you in a minute if you would be so kind as to maybe sing one last song for people before we end this webinar, just to give them another taste of your talents and what's in store for them in the J by J Festival. But before you do that, I want to once again exhort anyone who is watching this, either now or in any of the archived versions, to avail themselves of all J by J has to offer this season. Again, go to jbyjdc.org and you can have access to all these great films, music, talks, and activities. Again, the bulk of the festival is taking place through this weekend into next week, through December 10th. And there's a lot of way to enjoy the treasure trove of virtual activities. But probably the best thing to do, I can't recommend this enough, is go up here where it says Festival. Click on Tickets and Passes. And for $90, you can get an all-access pass, which lets you view everything the festival has to offer. All the movies, all the concerts, all the talks, and most of it you can watch at any time during the period of the festival. December 3rd, that was yesterday, through December 10th. So you can actually go through the website and purchase, individual performances, but really, there's no better value than that $90 all-access pass. All that stuff on Netflix, The Queen's Gambit, that'll still be there later in the month. You can watch it then. But from now until December 10th, you got all the entertainment you need right here. Now, in the music section of the festival, the Washington Jewish Music Festival, there's a lot of great performers. But we've been talking to Mr. Vladimir Fridman. And right there is where you can access his solo concert, featuring him on guitar, singing songs in Yiddish, in Hebrew, no, not in Hebrew, I'm sorry, Yiddish, English, and Russian. It's over an hour long, I think. It's a wonderful program, Dance Boychik. Okay, I don't think we have any Q&A, any questions coming in, so that must mean we've covered just about everything. So I tell you what, why don't you sing us out with one song, and then if there are no more questions, we'll wrap it up so people can go directly to jbyjdc.org and get those all-access passes.
Okay, Seth, thank you very much for such a great conversation. You might know I really, really appreciate our acquaintance with you and whatever we're doing together. Every time I play music with you, it's real blessed for me.
Likewise, sir.
Okay. And, in that program, Dance Boychik, I mostly, of course, definitely was singing in Yiddish. So now I want to offer you song in Russian, which not in the program for sure. It's Dark Eyes, but I wanted to have a taste. Очи черные, очи страстные, очи жгучие и прекрасные. Как люблю я вас, как боюсь я вас. Знать увидел вас я в недобрый час. Ох, недаром вы глубины темней. Вижу память у вас по душе моей. Вижу пламя в вас, я победная. Сожжено на нем сердце бедное, но не грустен я, не печален я. Утешительна мне судьба моя. Все, что лучшего в жизни Бог дал нам, в жертву отдал я огневым глазам. Очи черные, очи страстные, очи жгучие и прекрасные. Как люблю я вас, как боюсь я вас. Знать увидел вас я в недобрый час.
черные, очень страстные, очень жгучие и прекрасные. Как люблю я вас, как боюсь я вас, знать увидел вас, я мне добрый час. Ох, недаром глубины темней вижу память у вас по душе моей. Вижу пламя в вас, я победное, сожжено на нем сердце бедное.
That was fantastic, Vladimir. That was fantastic. Thank you so much. Thanks to my guest, Vladimir Fridman. Thanks to the staff of J by J at the Edlovich GCJCC, as well as our partner organizations, the Poses JCC of Northern Virginia, the Bender JCC of Greater Washington, and the staff members, like I mentioned, Ilya Tobis, Alexis Rodriguez, Corrine Williams, and thank all of you for tuning in. And if you haven't done so already, immediately at the conclusion of this program, seconds from now, go to jxjdc.org, purchase your $90 all-access pass, and begin accessing the treasure trove of Jewish cultural material at your disposal. Films, music, talks, and more. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Seth, and everybody who organized that. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.